The Texans have just fired Bill O'Brien after an 0-4 start to the 2020 season. But we want to know, what direction will the Texans go in now to move forward for their team? And was this a good move by firing Bill O'Brien? Let's eat.
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Edwin, aka King Jaloff, and I'm back again with another video. And this time, we have the Houston Texans firing Bill O'Brien, the head coach and the GM for the Houston Texans is no longer there. And I've got to say, I saw this coming. I saw it coming. It's about time, for real, because I was sick and tired of seeing the type of moves that this guy made in the past, to be honest with you. But it's not because of just one thing, right? There's multiple reasons why I just thought that his time was up. Like, he needed to go immediately. So guys, if you don't already know, this will be a football video, so sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. All right, so the Houston Texans fired Bill O'Brien. Okay, that's fine. But what started off so promising and so good for him as a head coach ended really bad. Really bad. Okay, guys, so Bill O'Brien came in, right, as the head coach after 2014, and he led the team to a 9-7 finish, right? Remember, that was with three quarterbacks, right? I'm putting up 6 fingers. That was with 3 quarterbacks, right? So that's tough to do. To finish 9-7, that's really tough to do. So give him credit. He boasted a record of 52-48 as a head coach and a GM at this point with the Houston Texans. Good, but not great, okay? So he made the playoffs all but 1 year of his tenure as a head coach. That's pretty good. But let's go deeper into that, right? While he made the playoffs each of those seasons, except for that one season, no one really counted the Texans to be a threat. And it's sad to say that they were in the playoffs for so many times in the different seasons, but they were never really threats. That's crazy when you think about it. So they were penned to make a Super Bowl run or a postseason run, as you may say. But other than that, they're not really scaring anybody, to be honest. Never really considered Super Bowl contenders. And to me, that's bad. That's really bad when you think about it, because they're basically the new age Bengals. Because if you were a football fan and you watched the AFC or just the NFL in general a couple seasons ago, the Bengals, when they had Andy Dalton, were like shoo-ins for the playoffs. We're talking about a wild card spot, sometimes leading the division. These guys will get to the playoffs every year, year in and year out. But they were never taken seriously. I'm sorry. They were never taken seriously. And each of those seasons, right, as Bill O'Brien would coach the Texans, they got booted out. Like, it wasn't too hard to do so, because, listen, when you have an unbalanced team as he did in his tenure as a head coach, it's going to be tough to kind of do that. But fast forward to that, right? And you have the likes of Deshaun Watson being drafted in 2017. Now that's good. No issues with that. But here's where things start going pretty bad. Like, bad. Okay? So fast forward to the AFC Championship game, right? You're up 24-7 against Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs on the road with fans. So, now we're in a state where fans are just coming back, but even before that, there's no fans, right? There's no games. Fully packed stadium, full fans in the stadium, right? On the road, 24-7, you're leading against the Chiefs, the number 1 team, as many thought, in the AFC, right? And you somehow find a way to blow the lead and get outscored 44-7. 44-7, are you kidding me? This guy calls a fake punt in the championship game. Who the hell does that? Listen, you don't call a fake punt, or you don't run those type of plays when you're up by a large margin on the road in the AFC Championship game. It doesn't even matter if you're home at that point. That's a bad call. It's a bad call, but it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets freaking worse. This guy gets promoted to be the GM for the Texans, and how does he celebrate his promotion? He trades away his best receiver and arguably his best player in DeAndre Hopkins for an underperforming back, an injury-prone back in David Johnson, and also a couple of draft picks. You could just throw that in there, obviously. But really, that to me is terrible business. Terrible business. You want to know why? Because, listen, first of all, before I go into that, guys, when a GM or a head coach, for that matter, doesn't matter what position, but in this case, when he makes that decision, right, very, very bold decision, a very bold decision to make, and the natural fan reaction, the natural analysis reaction is to crucify the guy, right? Because we're just like, wait, that's stupid. What the hell is he doing? He's trading away a top 3 receiver in the league for a guy that's been injury prone and a couple of draft picks. And on top of that, he did also trade for Brandon Cooks, another guy that's been injury prone and, a hefty salary at that too. So we're just looking at him and we're just thinking to ourselves, like, where is he going with this? But let me tell you, give the man some time to implement his style and his philosophy, because he may see something that we don't know. Going into basketball terms, we saw that Mike D'Antoni felt that the Rockets needed to go small ball to win games. At the beginning, people were just crucifying the guy because, in actuality, that's a dumb move, in my opinion. But, how far would it really go? You never know. So, it didn't really work out, obviously. And obviously, it didn't work out in this case either. Because Bill O'Brien, after an 0-4 start to the season, was fired. Seriously. You rank last. So, in this season, right, for the Texans, they've ranked last in rushing yards per game, and they failed to score over 23 points. And on top of that, we all know how great Deshaun Watson is, but even he looks bad right now. It's like he's regressed. He's regressed pretty badly. I don't know. It's looking pretty bad. So they fired Bill O'Brien, and now Romeo Crennel is the new interim head coach for the rest of the season. But on the side note, what's going on? I don't really know with the Texans organization right now. They need a new start, a fresh start, because you can't have Deshaun Watson, to me and to a lot of other people. We all, like I said before, we all know how good Deshaun Watson is. He is a talented young QB, and he's part of that crop with the talented young QBs in the NFL, specifically in the AFC. But when you look at his team compared to the likes of the Ravens and the Chiefs, they're significantly better than the Texans. And it's shown because they got blown out the first 2 games when they played them. The Chiefs blew them out. Baltimore next week blew them out. That to me, what can you do about that? What can you do about that? I don't know. But they need to find a way to get a coach that can put some balance into the team and get more out of Deshaun Watson than Bill O'Brien did. Because, listen, it's all fun and great when you're in the playoffs every year and you're trying to make a run, but if you're not considered real threats, if you're not a shoo-in to try and push for the Super Bowl as opposed to being a team in the postseason, that's not good enough, especially not for Deshaun Watson, because he was the one that's suffering behind the decisions with Bill O'Brien. So you need to find a coach that puts balance onto the squad, and a GM for that matter too, because now they have 2 holes, and a GM that can fill in for the roster and build it properly. Because let me tell you, earlier on in his seasons as a head coach for the Texans, Bill O'Brien had his whole tenure, he had an uneven squad. So we talked about his first couple seasons, he had good defenses, his offense was really lacking a bit, right? Towards the end of the other seasons, he had Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, good offenses, and his defense was kind of a little bit suspect. So we need to find some balance within the squad. They get that right, and then they're pretty much back in it, to be honest with you. But guys, Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. How will the Texans solve the issue? Who do they need to get back in contention? Now, I don't know. There's a lot of coaches out there right now. I'm really not sure who they could possibly get. They might have to wait to the end of the season, but we never know how things may go. But anyways, guys, that's all that we have for this video. To be honest, a weird one. But Deshaun Watson ate today because, like I said before, this guy was really suffering behind the decisions of Bill O'Brien and how he wanted to run his team. Because no running game, his receivers are okay, they're not bad. I'm not gonna say they're bad. They're not bad, but they're not really game changers. So no running game, okay receivers, and the defense is suspect. How do you expect to win with that? I don't know. But anyways, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Share with friends, please. And always remember, as I grow, we grow together. Stay tuned for the next video. Boop.